Hey everyone, Tony here for the Civ Sim channel, and welcome back to the flight deck of Microsoft's Flight Simulator 10. And this time we're bringing you the new and improved Steam version that is now available on Steam. So this is the FSX Steam version, and basically this is my first flight, just basically pulled the game up. And now I'm basically, this is default settings, default everything. I was just so excited I just jumped in, so I'm not sure if I'm going to make it, but we'll see. I'm pretty much lined up, so this is Tampa International Airport, by the way. So let's see if I'm going to make it, but yeah, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator 10 Steam Edition, and right off the bat, I can tell you that this is definitely a lot. The frame rates are definitely a lot nicer. I mean, this is on graphics, everything, ultra high settings, and I've never gotten. This is my old computer that I've made some of my FSX videos on, and it's touchdown. I mean, the frame rates. Let's get those thrust reversals going. You can hear the engine spewing, you know, the thrust reversal spewing there. But yeah, overall, this is a great version of the game. However, it does have a few minor drawbacks that I'm going to get into. This is basically just going to be for those who are new to FSX or just you know, long-time FSX aficionados. This is what you're really going to have to know about the Steam edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator 10. So right off the bat, let's talk about where you can get this. Basically, you can find the Microsoft Steam Edition basically on Steam. For those who do not know, Steam is an online platform for many games such as War Thunder, you know, IL-2, etc. So many different games. Basically, it's basically steampower.com. That's the website, and this is where you can find the FSX Steam Edition. And the FSX Steam Edition basically is both the original Microsoft Flight Simulator and the Microsoft Acceleration Pack. So basically, for those who would know, it's the Microsoft um, Golden Edition, if I'm not mistaken. Again, if we go to the main page, you'll see that for a limited time right now, for the winter sale, Steam, FSX is only for $5. So this is the Steam edition. So basically about $100, you know, if your 10 years ago game is now for $5 on Steam. So if you're interested in getting this game, you know, if you've lost your old key, one of the big issues with the original FSX is that Microsoft key tended to be limited, and so if you, especially if your game crashed because of mods and you had to reinstall it and enter that key, eventually you'd run out and all that. So if you, or you'd lose the key, etc. But basically, this is the Steam Edition. You don't need a key anymore. You just need a Steam account for it, and you'll never have to worry about another key again. Now, overall, this game is great. It works well with minor freeware add-ons. However, this is very important. They cannot guarantee that certain content will work. For example, if you're doing payware add-ons, currently a lot of the payware add-ons, like FS Passengers or Microsoft Traffic X or any of the AI traffic is not working. And, you know, which is a very big problem right now. Now, again, if you are new to FSX, this is the first time you're seeing it from Steam. Overall, this is a great game. Overall, there's really no problem with it. It's a great game, very smooth frame rates, smooth everything. The vanilla, the base game that you're getting for $5, it is completely and totally worth it. And I would definitely go ahead and get it. If you are, you know, someone who's interested in adding, you know, freeware add-ons like user skins and such, and I'll show that in a moment, this is also going to work well for you. However, at the moment, if you're a hardcore sim player, and you've gotten a lot of the payware add-ons that are, you know, going very high up there in range. Oop, I'm kind of going off the grass here, but that's alright. Well, it's not alright, but, you know, just, well, ignore that. Anyhow, if you're doing the payware stuff, then you're gonna probably want to hold off on this. You might still want to buy the game. It's only $5. It's a very good price, and you don't have to worry about paying the $40 for it when it's no longer on sale. So which really at that point it wouldn't be worth it at all to get. But at the moment that it is today, December 19th, 2014. So if you're watching this video in a year or so, this might not hold out. But if you are getting the game, I would definitely highly recommend getting it while it's on sale. That is going to be the best bang for your buck. And they are working. I've looked at a lot of the different forums, Avasim and so forth, in which a lot of people are, the third-party content generator people are working on a fix for this. And what do I mean by a fix? Well, let's go take a look at one of the issues that this game has. One of the issues is that some of the third-party content DLCs look for a specific version of the game. Basically, the serial number to make sure you've got a legal copy of the game. And unfortunately, what's happened in the Steam pack is the numbers have gone at, from what I understand, from what I've read in the forums, basically that serial number, that number within the code and software is not the same. So it's basically the software installer for the third-party content is saying, well, you don't have a valid version of the game, we can't install yada yada yada. Again, please note that this is not FSX Gold Edition. Yes, it is Gold Edition, but the software, the internal software, is slightly modified. So this is a modified version of FSX. Everything for the most part is the same, except for certain files that have been reconfigured and changed. And that's basically where the add-ons are having a problem, because they're not recognizing the game, essentially. They're just saying, well, you don't have FSX. Like, I was trying to install a few add-ons, and it was telling me that, basically, I didn't have the, acceleration pack, the service pack 2, put in the game, and, I thought that was weird, so I looked, and, yes, this does come with Service Pack 1 and 2, but the problem is that the files have been modified in such a way where when the installing software for a lot of the payware ads, because a lot of them have a software installer that you use, basically it's not finding the correct file that it wants to look for. It wants a certain file that is not there, or a certain file that may be there but is altered in such a way that it is not being recognized by the main system. And so that is a bit of a problem right now if you're using payware add-ons. Now, I will say this, that at the moment it does look like a lot of the freeware content, and in a moment I'll give an example of the freeware content is working, and in fact I'll do a quick tutorial on how to install files for freeware add-on aircraft, and there will be more videos coming soon on where to get some of those freeware aircraft. But overall, this is a great game, as we're taxing here a little off though, because I gotta reset all of my settings. But I wanted to get this video out because the game is on sale now, and I did want to make this video as soon as I could. So again, let's try and line up with that tractor here. Okay, there we go. Alright, I think we're good. Yep, got the jetway going. Alright, got our door opening so the passengers can disembark. Uh-oh, whoops. I got, where's the, what's the key command there? Right, okay, I think we got the brakes on now. Whew, okay. Do we have the brakes on? Or are we still moving? I gotta figure out which key that is. Nope, still moving. Come on, which button is the brake again? I gotta remember. Okay, I think we've got it now. Yeah, I think we've got the brake. Okay, get the control period. Okay. It's been a while. Oh, let's look at that plane take off. Alright, enough of the chat now that we're here and shutting the engines down and everything, and watching that guy go. Of course, now we've got our... oh, right, it's I gotta turn the tooltip off. It's telling me I've got the engines on still. Or, excuse me, the engine's off. But anyhow, let's take a look. at some of the freeware aircraft. So basically, what I'm doing right now is I have from my original FXX folder from I've basically transferring files. By the way, you can run the Steam version and the old version of FSX on your computer, though unless you've got a high powered computer, I probably wouldn't recommend it because both these FSX Flight Simulator 10 and its add-ons are gigabytes like what I'm doing right now was just over like 3 gigabytes in add-ons. So I would not recommend, um, unless you have a computer with like a terabyte or something of hard drive space, I would not recommend having both the Steam version and the original version of FXX installed. It's just gonna slow down your hard drive and everything, and I wouldn't recommend it. So, but anyhow, moving on. Basically, all we are is in the SimObjects aircraft folder, and basically we're just transferring some aircraft doing it the old-fashioned way. I will do a tutorial on that in another video though, but anyhow, there we go. It's all loaded up. So now those are in again our FSX SimObjects airplanes folder in the Steam apps common. So that's where you can find that. Nope, still copying a little. Didn't realize that was still copying. 99. Almost there. There we go. 100%. So now it's in the folder. So let's go start up again. There we go. And again, usually, so all the files are there. They're correct. All right, let's go start her up. Again, Microsoft Steam Edition by Train Simulator. I kind of find that funny that pops up. Now here's a good example popping up right there on your screen, basically saying that I need SP1 or SP2 Service Pack to install the to install the FS Passengers modification, which is payware. Although that's just a demo that I have right there because I wanted to test it. And again, my rule of thumb, if you're doing payroll add-ons, again, here's the freeware add-on. So the freeware add-on aircraft that you just saw me copying, they are in the game. So it does work with the freeware aircraft. So if you're on Simtropolis, AvaSim, FS Pilot, whatever, you will be able to get the aircraft. And in this case, we have the American Transair ATA 727. But anyhow, back to the payware aircraft. If you're getting payware aircraft, it might work, but if you're doing any major modifications, such as AI traffic, such as FS Passengers, which is basically the environment sounds, realistic crew simulators and all of that stuff, it's going to be hit and miss. I will say this, it's going to be hit and miss. Some might work, some might not work, some probably are in the process of working. So you're going to want to look at the Steam forums if you've got this game and you're thinking of buying or installing your third-party software on this. You're going to want to be careful with it because right now the Steam version of FSX is not compatible with a lot of these third-party add-ons that are payware. Again, freeware, which you manually install, that'll be fine. For those of you who are just going to use the vanilla game, this doesn't really apply to you. But if you are a hardcore FSX fan, a hardcore sim gamer, I would probably say that you're going to want to be careful with the add-ons. And if you're new to FSX and you're thinking of buying some add-ons, I would hold off for now and really wait until there's a patch or update or until they, let me turn the sound down a little there. Until basically they've got the game under control, if you will, as far as how installations of third-party payware is going to go. Because right now some of it is not working at all because of those files not being what the installer wants it to be and such. So there are, this is its own game. This is Steam FSX. This is not Microsoft FSX. So I should call this Steam Flight Simulator 10. Okay. And that's basically what this is. So let's turn on the engines there. Again, I've got the doors opening. So everything's working. And there's a beautiful American Trans Air aircraft. Um, I'm gonna have to remember where I got that aircraft model from. It's been a very long time. Again, FSX came out in, oh, what, 2007? So basically 7 years later, we've got this game back. So anyhow, listening to the engines spew up, or can't talk today. Anyhow, listening to the engines spool up. There we go. I can get it. Okay, might want to put the parking brake on. Just so the plane doesn't start rolling on me as those engines turn on. But as you can see, you can get the freeware aircraft going. So there's a lot of worries because the company that took over FSX from Microsoft basically is the train simulator group, which is notorious for having like 1,000 DLCs that are all highly priced and everything, and people were worried that you know, you wouldn't be allowed to install your own custom aircraft and stuff. But you can install your custom aircraft, and this is basically working just like in my old version here, just with higher graphics settings and everything, which does run smoothly. I will say this, from the 1 or 2 trial flights I've done so far, this game is very smooth. It's very stable, a lot more stable than the original, I'd have to say, so far at least. Especially with these graphics settings, so I'm very happy about that. So, you know, if you are new to FSX, if this is the first time you've ever heard of it, or if you just saw it because it's on the Steam sale, because you're just a Steam maniac, and, you know, beyond Steam, you're kind of like lost in space, and you've never been, you know, out and about beyond Steam, then I'd say I'd highly recommend this game. It is amazingly customizable. It still is. You know, especially with the freeware add-ons, you can still do the freeware add-ons. However, those are the ones that are manually installed. Any of the programs for FSX that are payware, those are not working at the moment. The vast majority are not working. So you're going to want to be careful with those. And I would, again, if you're new to FSX, I would not recommend buying payware add-ons or DLCs or mods, whatever you want to call them, for this game. It is just not worth it at the moment. Let's go bro here in full power and take off, but see how it goes. But again, I would highly suggest that you wait and see, at least for the time being, on those paywares. Freeware mods that you can get on sites such as Simtropolis, Avasim, and VatSim, and so many others, or the FSX virtual airlines. All of those are going to work here. Whoops, going a little flew off the runway there, but well, we'll ignore that again. Again, I'm still getting used to this. Again, haven't played this in about a year or two, so I'm trying to get back used to it. But anyhow, overall, I would say that, you know, I mean, for the most part, this is all of the simulations, everything, I mean, granted, it will depend on your computer. I will say this, that you're going to want to run it on a, you know, on a good computer. You're not going to want to play it on like a cheap $100 laptop or something. It's just not going to work. You're probably not going to have the, number one, the hard drive space for it, and number two, you're not going to have the processors and everything that's really going to allow you to be fully immersed in this game. Because let me tell you something, playing this game on minimal settings and everything, it just doesn't work. You know, this is a type of game where you're not going to want to see, you know, black scenery and such. No. So, I mean, unless you're old school and you like that, like the original flight sims, but nah, you know, it's not worth it. But it is worth it for, you know, $5 getting, you know, what amounts to basically $100 product, or what was a $100 product, basically, if you count the original game at $50 and then the expansion pack, the acceleration at about $50 as well. I'd say it's highly worth it. So I would definitely suggest, taking this up for a spin if, and flying it. So again, I know I'm kind of going off and on. This video really is, for anyone who's basically watching it, for those new to Sim and those who are, pros who have been flying for ages. This game, never ceases to amaze me, and it's a great game. And hopefully, I'm hoping that within the next few months to a year or so, all of those add-ons will be compatible with the FSX Steam version. I'm sure that those groups are going to want to capitalize on it. I know the trade simulator maker would probably want to capitalize on it. Now it's kind of like just like the Steam version of another another aircraft similar, which is what's it called again? X-Plane simulator for an X-Plane is definitely a hardcore sim, but it has things that are payware that are from AeroSim. So I'm sure that's going to happen with FSX as well. So and FSX is definitely a very user-friendly sim. For a second, let's actually see if we can't change the aircraft here. I'm just curious if that's going to work for me. See in a second. Yep, here we go. So we went from ATA Airlines to AirTran. Both airlines served Midway Airport in the 90s and obviously until recently. Obviously, AirTran's last flight will be actually in a few days from now with their final flight from Atlanta to Tampa as they're absorbed by Southwest. And, of course, those DC... well, actually, that's not a DC-9. That's a Boeing 717 based off the DC-9. Those are going to be going to Delta Airlines. But anyhow, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to do a lot more videos. Please let me know what your thoughts are, what your questions are in the comment section. Maybe I can help you. And but overall, I'd say that this is a great sim so far. It's definitely worth it if you're thinking of buying it. However, again, there's that caveat, as I keep saying, and I can't stress this more. I can't stress this enough, that if you are thinking of doing payware, I would definitely hold off on that, or at least contact the payware people. Or look at the forums and find out if it is going to be compatible with the Steam version. Now, the Steam version just came out a day or so ago, so this is like early into it. So this, some of this is going to take a while. So don't just expect to get FSX and then buy about $1,000 in software for the game and add-ons. It's they're probably not going to work. And with some third-party add-ons, getting a refund can be very hard. Yep, that's going to do it for me. There's some of the regular FSX traffic. Hopefully I can get the AI traffic going eventually. And some of those payware add-ons, as well as the freeware add-ons. So we shall see, and I'll do some add-on reviews and some tutorials on transferring files and that in the coming days and weeks. So look forward to that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, everyone, have a great day. Happy flying. This is Tony for the Sim channel, wishing you all a great and enjoyable flight. You're free to move about the cabin. I'll catch you guys next time.